Hello again, Raiders. Let's take a look, see where we're at as we chase down this ESMA fusion. We'll start by taking a look at where we're at on the fragments. And as you can see, we're at 90, kind of right on par with where we wanted to be. We were able to finish second in the champ training tournament, which just leaves us right here at the final stretch. And we're gonna have to do the champion chase, 1150. The good news is we don't have to go to 2500 because we did finish second in that champ training event. Otherwise, I'd had to gone all the way to 2500 and burn some shards. For this, our intention is to come in here, and as we mentioned earlier in some of the videos, our goal was to go to the fusions. We know Relic Keeper's coming. We're gonna go ahead and save all these for him, but that does give us the ability to come in and do some Broadmaw stuff. And we could potentially, we're going to fuse up a couple of her since we have this, right? Now let's go here, upgrade his level just real quick. Go back and fuse her. Okay, now this is going to cost us some silver. We do need to be careful of this, but it's going to get us some free points. And it's going to save us, what was this, 50 points per one of these. You'll need to make the decision if it's worth it for you on your account. I know I need some of this stuff, so I am doing it. Here again, I'm going to go ahead and ascend him. We'll go ahead and go upgrade his level. Actually, you know what, as we think about this, probably won't do that because the upcoming, we do have some overlap. We have a champ training event starting in 16 hours, so we'll wait to do a couple of these until tomorrow. But I do want to make it clear, hey, you do want to go in, if you have the silver, and you should come in here to the fusion and start prepping yourself for the Broadmaw. Again, we've already prepared ourselves for Relic Keeper. That's going to be the final mission at this part of the string, and then we want to go ahead and make sure that we're prepared for these. So we'll go there, and let's go ahead and fragment some of those two champs, which we've been buying from our tag team arena. So we got her. Void champ should give us a little more points than 50. There's 50 points there. And get our Bloodhorn. And these are going to be ones we focus in on the champ training event. Again, just pretty excited about that actually. Not that we need a Relic Keeper because we have one. But let's see where that puts us on the points. If we go here. Champ chase. Yeah, 160. So we really only need 1,000 more points, which should be fairly easy to do. So as we work through champ training over the next couple days, we're going to pull some uncommons and hopefully some rares there, get some points. And then at the finish, we'll come in here and finish with these green shards if we have to. Try not to use your other shards. You know, other comments is that, you know, we started with right around 2,100 gems. So it gives you a nice benchmark on where you're going to be. Moving forward for the next fusion, which will just be, you know, a few weeks away really, is you're going to need about 2,000 gems. Cutting it close would be 1,500. And then we were able to finish the enchantment event. So I'm going to move into that a little bit too, because I think there's some comments that I like to make is, man, we really burned through some gear. You see, I only have 182 pieces out of 1,500. And just my strategy has been to go through and say, hey, does it have speed as a substat? If it does, I enchant it. You'll see almost every piece I have that has speed as a substat has been brought up to at least 8. Okay. I also come in and say, what's the primary stat? Any boots that are speed, we upgraded those. Then I come through and I go, okay, primary stats, crit damage, right? Those are going to be important. And then you'll note of those, they should almost all have a substat of crit rate. If I don't have that, I went through and said primary stat crit rate, right? And we started enchanting those. That was my focus. I went ahead and on any of your gloves, boots, and chest pieces, if it has a primary stat of any of these, I deleted it, or sold it, I should say, unless I thought it was an important piece of gear, like Feral we just got. Some of this bolster that we've been getting from the what is it called? The Hero's Path or whatever it is. And I'm keeping anything that's 5 or 6 star in what I would consider very important sets. And at this stage of the game, Savage would be one of those, Relentless would be one of those, because they'll be targets for us to re-roll with Chaos Ore. Like, hey, if I wanted to, I could re-roll this, rework. I do have a couple pieces that we've been given along the way that I'm saving, because we're going to transition at some point to needing some of this gear. We're still not actively farming 6-star gear. We can. Specifically, let's take a look at where we're at on dungeons. When we go to dungeons, we take a peek. We are able to farm stage 13. I haven't gotten any great 6-star gear because it's going to be pretty rare, but we can do that there. Dragon, we've pushed into where we can get some 6-star gear. Haven't really got any good stuff to drop. And then Fire Knight, not so much. Hey, this one's going to be a little tougher because I'm going to have to really focus in on that and make some ally attacks to get to the Fire Knight. Good news, we do have 2 of those now with Crusader and Morag. So we should be able to push through. And of course, I'm just ignoring Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun right now. So it looks like we're going to be able to achieve the fusion. Our goal will be not to pull that as soon as we do it. Please, please, please don't do that. It's a fragment, so you can save them. You can see I've begun collecting sexy Drexy shards, your Carl shards, and I will begin also working on Yannicka in the store, in the bazaar here. So Tag Team Bazaar, I'm getting Drexy from here. The only other thing I'm considering, and I'm only buying Drex right now. That's it. It's the only value. This isn't really good value. Really none of this is good value. Long term, if I get built up into a clan, we'll be buying Void Shards, we'll be buying the accessories, Sacred Shards, and this accessory, and then of course the Legendary Tome. But as you can see, we're a million miles away from there. The other place to spend your resources is in the clan shop, and I think this one gets overlooked quite a bit. You can see in the clan shop, here's where I will be buying my Yakarl and my Yannicka shards, or fragments I should say. And I'm going to focus on Yakarl first, just because he's a Void champion. I think he has higher value. Of course, Yannicka and Arbiter are a good pairing later, and this is really just depending on you putting in the grind on picking up these clan quests and doing them. So you can see I've already completed my 3 here. I'm pretty much living in the basics and grabbing what's available. Getting 10 rare champions, you can do that from campaign farming. All kinds of places you can do these. So if you do them, basics, maybe even an expert, right? You can sneak one in. Hey, grab those. Most of the clans, when you join them at this level, don't have a lot of active people, so they're ripe for the taking. You can see, I think, I don't even know how many people are actually finishing them in our clan. Not very many, right? So for me, you can see I did a banner. I did 5 uncommon champions to rank 3, which is easy. And then down at the bottom, I don't think I did any expert, did I? No. Mine are all basics. Okay? But because they're easier to achieve. Yeah, 19 on, Demon Lord. So focus in on those. Spend your resources in the clan shop. This does rotate. You can see up here in the top right. It rotates every week basically. Hey, but I am buying the shards. I also think at this level, the silver's of some serious value. I think I bought all 10 last time. That was 3 million silver, and that allowed me to complete the artifact enchantment event. Late game, I probably wouldn't do that. Early game, I think there's a lot of value. There's some value in these accessories as well. But if we take a look at where I'm at, I don't have enough champs wearing accessories right now to really worry about it. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to go with the fragments to get the better champs. Yakarl does have that AoE freeze. It's very strong, especially in the current dungeon, which, the Queen of Hearts dungeon. So that's where we're at. Now let's take a look at the champions. You'll notice that again in these dungeons, everyone is basically the same team for me. So let's just take a look real quick. This is the team on the setup. What I've done is I've put Haikatun in the lead, and I'm running a War Maiden for healer, really focused in on accuracy and lifesteal gear for Kale. No big change there. I think you just saw Alice earlier. And then again, I just have great value on this champ whose name is escaping me. But this is the lead. The only thing I do on the setup ultimately is I turn War Priest Blessed Weapons off because I'm already getting that with Sabitha. And because I've got her in, we'll move to the champion screen, because I've put her in my best reflex gear, what's happening there is it's giving me an opportunity to bring down her heal. So she just heals more often, thus keeping the team alive. What has that done for me? Well, it let me progress all the way to where we're getting 6-star gear. And in Clan Boss, we are actively 1 keying easy now, 1 keying normal, and 2 keying hard. So that's another focus. Get into hard as soon as you possible. We can 2 key here. And what we're looking for is hopefully shards and books. And of course the gems and the potions and all those things. But the gear's still not very good. There is opportunity for 5-star gear, which we will be keeping. And so again, going back to the gear, you'll notice that my cleanse has been pretty harsh. I think people have a tendency to hoard gear. I don't. I sell everything if it's not of any value. Keep it very, very lean, very, very mean. At this point, we're probably only actively using 5 or 6 champions anyway. Just as a reminder, I did pull Loki. I threw him in some gear. He's not getting used. It's garbage. I just did it. I can't even remember. I think I had to get some 5-star gear equipped on a champion. So, hey, that's where we're at. Back to the arena. I will come, you should be farming as much as humanly possible. Again, we do have that going to get those last 5 fragments. So I'm just hitting refresh every so often. I'm looking for ones I can win. What do I think I can win? Well, anybody with a single defense, I will take a look at. And I will also take the look to see right here, hey, do they have a bunch of 50s? That's an opportunity for me. So we'll take a look. This is kind of what I've got going for my farm right now. Haikatoon obviously with the highest speed. Increase attack on Sabitha, defense down from War Maiden, and then hitting hard with Alice. That is the pattern. Should be able to accomplish this one too. And then I'll quickly roll back and show you where we're at with speeds on some of these things. Because the team farms pretty well. Do run into some issues with, I'm looking for one here. Kale is a problem for us. Kale, listen to me. Loki is a problem when paired with Monkey King. These are things I avoid. I avoid Monkey King with UDK because he reses and comes back with 100% turn meter. I will look for anything like this one where they don't have a speed lead, because oftentimes I can win that. And that's kind of what I've been looking at. So if we go and look at my battle log under attacks, you can see here, tried to take that one. I knew that one was risky, but ultimately majority victories just by being kind of selective about your attacks. I do set my defense to just 1, something low that somebody will come after and kill. And we're looking there is hopefully we want to, on the defense, just lose a whole bunch. And that keeps us in gold 1, silver 4, and that's what we're doing. Okay? Hopefully that helps some people. Now let's go back and take a look at the speeds on our champs. Again, Haikatoon. We've got her up to 246. That's pretty good, which as you saw rolls into Sabitha with an attack up at basically 200. Rolls into War Maiden, who's just under that at 195. And then that rolls into Alice at 179. So try to keep these timings really, really tight so that, ultimately you don't want people cutting in. It does happen. I do have a gap, obviously, between Haikatoon and Sabitha that's pretty healthy. I'd like this to be higher. Maybe I get lucky and hit speed here. But again, I'm being super conservative with resources because we know what's coming up. Which leads us to missions. Missions are going to be important. Hey, the next one we're going to have is get 3 rank 6 champions. My goal will be to finish that during the next champ training event. From there, it's pretty much cruise control. We've already shown you we can do Dragon's Lair 13. Hey, we can do all these, all the faction keep, or not faction keep, but the potion keeps we can do at 13 or higher, which will roll us through. We're on Minotaur 15 now. Same exact team, guys. Same exact team. This one will take a minute when we get to the arenas. Masteries, we've begun working on those. I guess I should probably comment on that too. Because when we take a look at masteries, I've stuck to my word. Hey, I don't believe in grinding all the way down. We're taking it slow. We've made some tier 4 masteries here. We did that overnight. Kale has reached some tier 4 masteries. Sabitha. Haikatoon, who's relatively new for us, has just joined the Minotaur farm. And then, of course, we have War Priest and War Maiden. So if we go take a look at what we're doing there, definitely want to do that. Hey, we are farming 15. This is the team. Now, once War Priest is done, we'll take a look if we can move War Maiden in there. Unfortunately, War Maiden's going to get burned at some point, or I need to go farm another one, which is more likely what I'm going to do in order to finish the fusions. So, again, just a reminder, you can get those from campaign. Go get yourself another War Maiden. I'm going to need to do that yet. Okay, but that's where we're at. We're pretty excited about it. One thing worth mentioning, if we go to the tournaments, Champ Chase, we're going to get to the 1150. The question, do we want to pull her for the 1,000 points and get us to 2250? The answer is there's no reason to. Would I like to go to 1550? I sure would. We'll see where we finish when we do the fusions and things like that. But I'm not going to go hard for it. When we take a look at where we're at on books, I've already got 11 epic books right now as it sits. Let me look at epics here. Who will I book? I've already committed to everybody that we're only going to get free-to-play champs. So while I've gotten a Vogoth, and he is awesome, our books are going to probably go to Haikatoon, and then I'll be saving and debating on whether or not I book Shaman. Again, she's not that great, but she does have a revive, but we've already got that covered. She has an increased crit rate, which is okay, and debuff removal. It's just not spectacular. So we'll end up booking Haikatoon, probably the next CBC for some points there. The next one would be, do we want to do Jizzo? And that's a maybe because of Faction Wars. So last little tour there, Faction Wars, you can kind of see where we're at. We're progressing. Can't quite beat the bosses on them. And like I told you before, I don't have any keys. I used them all. But we're using whatever we have and throwing gear on people. Oftentimes what I'm doing is finishing it. When I get to stage 3 here, I lost on stage 4. I just farmed 3 so that when I get in and I look at my resources, you can see I'm starting to get a pretty good little supply of glyphs. That's all from Faction Wars. And I will save these for upgrading champions during CBC to get some few points there, upgrading gear there. I'll save all that for CBC to get some points, just to help the clan out and hopefully get some jewelries and stuff. So again, finishing off, our plan is to finish the champ training to get the last few fragments. We're going to finish the champ chase. Worst case scenario, I have to pull hundreds of greens. If I do that, all I'm going to do is come in a tavern, go like this, and go instant upgrade. I don't love doing that at this stage, but this will be what I do if I have to. So hey, looking forward. Hopefully everything works out for you, and then we'll have an ESMA. Our plan is to save her, probably to a CVC when I get some points and personal rewards. That'll be very valuable to us because I don't think she'll advance the account that much. And there's millions of reviews out there if you want to take a look at how she is. I think CC content creators that have access to the test server have already done all that, and feel free to check that out. But hey, thanks for watching. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or if you have a champion you'd like to look at, on my not free-to-play account, let me know. I can log in with my main and show you some builds there or things like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Give me some comments so that I know where you'd like to see more. Thanks.